What's up, y'all? This is J. Cole. Cold World.
This is Extreme 103.
She don't wanna be saved, don't save her.
XR103.com.
Stay tuned because coming up next is Marketing Secrets Revealed, making you our next millionaire, right here on the 7-Figure Year Marketing Show with Derek Jones.
You are listening to Extreme 103 HD. XR103.com. A deep end media station.
I can't hear anything. Hey, welcome to 7-Figure Year Marketing. I am your host, Derek Jones, where we reveal marketing secrets making you our next millionaire. I want to thank you for joining us. Again, this is our new day and time, Mondays at 6. Thanks for being here. Thanks for the new people who have joined, and also the 7-Figure Squad. You guys know what time it is. So here is roll call. Let's see who we have. All right, we have Brianna over at sensoryfunfromday1.com. Again, sensoryfunfromday1.com. And she, if you have infants or babies, 0 to 5, you can take your babies there, and they have PlayStations, not the Sony PlayStations, but stations for them to play, like in the toy balls and slides and things like that, right? So and they can touch different objects and get a feel. So sensoryfunfromday1.com. Brianna. Nick. All right, Nick at goenation.com. goenation.com. Love what that brother is doing over there. GOE, God over everything. He's showing us how to put God over everything, and then everything else will fall into place. So goenation.com. Go ahead and register at the site. Let's see, we got Kimberly Stitch Witch Plano. She does embroidery, right? So if you need your initials on your shirt, on your cuff link, go see her, right? Kimberly at stitchwitchplano.com. And last we have Dr. David Kirsch. Dr. D, what's going on? All right. He is a chiropractor in Birmingham, Michigan. So his site is B as in Birmingham, bchiro, bchiro.com, bchiro.com. I want to thank you all for tuning in and being with us. Now, if you want to be part of the 7-Figure Squad, get your business announced and your website mentioned, you know what to do. Follow us at Twitter at 7-Figure Year, and then hashtag 7-Figure Squad plus your company name and your web address and what you do, or simply log in to our Facebook page, 7-Figure Marketing, and do the same thing. All right, so we have with us Miss D. Cox.
Hi, how are you today? Hi, everyone.
Thank you for being here. And, when I saw your bio, I was like, she put the D in DFW Real Estate, Miss D. Cox. So glad to have you here. Thank you.
You so much. Some people out there call me D in Dallas, and initially it was cute, but now it fits what I do in real estate. So I'm happy to be here.
Okay, so we'll just get right into it.
Sure.
All right. Who is D. Cox? Tell us who you are.
Who is D. Cox? Well, I am a speaker, an influencer, and an entrepreneur. I own Move Dallas Realty LLC. My broker is Nathan Grace Real Estate, and I have been here in Dallas for about 9 years. I'm a mother of 2 beautiful children, and I sell real estate every day. The difference that makes me unique, or what makes me D. Cox, is how I sell real estate. Okay. And I sell real estate from the people perspective. I look at every transaction as a family, not as a home. And I look at every family as a team or an individual looking for a lifestyle. So what I do and who I am is that person that can connect you with real estate in a way that feeds where you're headed in your life. So that I speak all the time. I love to get in front of people and talk about wealth building and talk about real estate and the process of that. But my biggest thing and my trademark is my ability to influence those just to be happy.
So when you say you said you speak on wealth building and real estate, are you
Yes.
saying that you talk to people on how to build wealth through real estate?
I do.
Through selling it or through being a home purchaser? That's interesting to me.
Both,
Really?
both. So, one of the core values of Move Dallas is wealth building via home ownership. So I take every offer prior to submitting every contract through, my mind of, is this going to build wealth for my client? I don't want my clients to buy a property that if their life changes or if they end up relocating somewhere that they can't sell. So the thing about real estate, it's one of the top ways in our country and in our world to become wealthy. So as a homeowner, you should make money for going to sleep in that house every night and just taking care of it. And I can't, guarantee anything, especially outside of an act of God. But what I can do is at least equip my clients with the ability to pick a property that is has potential to create wealth for them. And I've been very successful so far.
So just give me a glimpse into doing that. Like, how do you look at a property and say, this property for this person can build wealth for them? How do you know that?
Well, on the way here today, I submitted an offer for a client. And when we looked at this house, it had a certain price. And directly around it, in that particular subdivision, the homes had one less bathroom on normal. So it looked like this home was overpriced. But when you stretched it out a little bit more, half a mile, instead of just in that particular subdivision, every home that actually had the room count and bathroom count of this home was selling for $50,000 to $60,000 more than the home that they're purchasing. So that house is right in between. That house is priced more than the homes that have less than what it has, and priced less than the homes that are across the street, a little bit better neighborhood. Which means that the more expensive homes are driving the price, not the cheaper homes. Okay?
Gotcha.
So with looking at it from that perspective, I can tell my client, with confidence that the home she's purchasing is going to continue to appreciate like the homes that are being sold for, $60,000 more than hers. So as long as she takes care of it, and if she adds any more value to it over time, she will be able to turn a profit on that home based on the market and the area that she's moving to.
Nice. Now hear this. Again, Dee does real estate, but please, and we're going to get into some of her marketing strategies. Please understand, just because she does real estate does not mean you cannot take some of her strategies and apply it to what you're doing, whether you're a barber, a baker, carpet cleaner. Go outside of your industry, which, again, we're going to hit upon because that's some of the things you sent me and talked about.
Yes.
So, yes, just because she's in real estate and we're talking about real estate does not mean that does not apply to you if you don't do real estate. Take what she's talking about and apply it to what you're doing in your industry to help you grow. All right, so how did you choose real estate to be your path and the seven-figure income?
Well, firstly, everybody knows that realtors make good money. So it was definitely one of those businesses where I knew that if I was successful at it, that I had the potential to be wealthy and that I could take it to any city in any state and duplicate that. Realtors that are in the seven-figure range may have brokerages in 2 different states and 4 different cities, and they live in one place, but they're making money everywhere. So the possibilities are endless for real estate. That's part of that desire. If I can go back a little bit further than 4 years ago when I decided to get into real estate, I went to school at Sam Houston State University in Huntsville near Houston, and I was going to pursue sports medicine. I got a biology degree, but I still real estate, yeah.
Wow.
And so while I was there, however, I had to get a full-time job. I had a child in high school, and although I still went to college, I realized that she would need things. So I gave up my scholarship to pursue sports medicine and got a job as a property leasing consultant. I promoted through leasing to management and ended up with a staff of 17 by the age of 20.
Really?
And although I thought that was going to take me to a marketing job in Atlanta, because I've always loved marketing, and I loved marketing more than anything else when I was doing property management, I ended up in Dallas, Texas after college. So when I got here, I did a few sales jobs, sold some cars, sold some other stuff on the phone, and ended up back home with property management. And I sat there at my office one day when I knew every resident in my community. I knew all of their names, their dogs' names, their boyfriends, which ones were crazy, which ones were not. And I said, Dee, this information is not growing you. You have all of this information in your mind to manage this, $45,000 a year job. And unless your boss or someone at her position dies, you're not going to promote, because this company is great. Our company had great management in place. And in my position, there was just no growth opportunity. So one day a lady said, I'm listening to you talk. You should try real estate. I'm a realtor and I make this money and, this and that she was saying, and I want you to come work for me. And even though I never worked for her, 2 weeks later I was back in real estate school. And I went to Collin College. I paid nothing to get my real estate license. I got an associate's degree in real estate while I was at it. And quit my job 6 months later after I got my license and went full time.
And you hit on something too that's I'd like to point out. You had a daughter in high school?
I did.
All right. So even with that, she didn't have that or see that as a barrier or something that would hold her back, So please do not let anything,
ever hold
you back because she navigated her way around and through, even with having a child. So
Totally.
I admire that. That's
The craziest part about it was my mother died 3 months after I had my daughter.
Oh no.
So I didn't tell anybody that I was pregnant. So my mom figured it out at 7 months, and then 6 months later she passed away, and I was there with a 3-month-old child, a junior in high school.
Wow.
So
so you did it without your mom there
I
too.
did it without my mom. I did it with my sister and my little brother, literally.
Sure. Wow.
So you can do it. For anybody out there that is desiring to be an entrepreneur, and not just an entrepreneur, but a paid, wealthy entrepreneur, do not let anything, any tragedies, any setbacks, any decisions or choices that you make, don't look at them as mistakes. Look at them as part of your life, and continue to press forward towards the purpose that you feel inside every day.
I was just talking to my producer about what I call press the hustle. So you got out there and you pressed the hustle.
Hustle button. Pressed.
Press the hustle. I'm gonna get you a T-shirt.
Yes.
Let's talk about your brand
Okay.
and how you market that to Dallas. And what is Move Dallas about? What is that?
Well, I'll talk Move Dallas first, and then we'll go back to my branding and how that all came about.
Sure.
Move Dallas, the name of it, is branding in itself. It is my marketing, because what do you do when you buy a house? You move, right? So, let's just make it simple and, play with words. And because I am Dee in Dallas, I, wanted to incorporate my love for the city and my love for DFW altogether. So I needed that in my name and in my brand. But Move Dallas is about moving forward and living differently. There's 3 core values that we have at my company. First is wealth building via home ownership. You got to make some money in the real estate market, or why? Why not? Mortgage money right now is so dirt cheap that if you live in Dallas, Texas, and you are not in a plan to buy, you are not currently buying, or you're not, looking to do something in this market, then you're asleep. Period. So the first thing that I have to do is speak for wealth building via home ownership. Then the second thing we stand for is lifestyle living. So my tagline for Move Dallas is live differently, because no one's the same. People don't want to buy a 3-bedroom, 2-bath anymore. They want to live where they can live, work, play. They want to live, near this over here, this attraction, or in Rockwall because of the lake or whatever. They want a lifestyle. And if you buy a property and it's not really about your lifestyle, you may end up unhappy. So, my brand and what I stand for and what I think about when I am working with my clients is living your life the way you want to live your life. And I provide that service by listening to my clients. And the last thing that we stand for is consistent service. There's nothing that I can do but get better or stay the same. And we're going to be somewhere in there. We're going to be consistent. We're never going to, overpromise and underdeliver. So the core values I feel is what makes a brand. And you being able to articulate those values not only in word, but also in character. So branding for me is all about what you want to say, how you want to communicate that so people understand the feeling of what you're trying to say. And then you having the character and wisdom and understanding to deliver that. That's all branding is. What do I want to say? And the marketing comes into the how do I say it to the customers that I want to serve.
Sure.
And deliver the feeling of joy for being able to do what I want to do every day as an entrepreneur and become wealthy in the meantime by providing a product or a service.
Now, let's go back even a little bit more. Your very first client.
Yes.
Because I have a lot of listeners who are entrepreneurs or new to entrepreneurship and have not gotten that first customer, client, patient yet.
Yeah.
Do you remember that process and what you did to get your first client?
Oh, my goodness. If I got time, I got a little story.
Go ahead.
Okay, so, listen to this, everybody. I got my real estate license, 6 months in, still working my full-time job, realized that wasn't going to go work, right? Bought a car, moved, and started real estate. The second election for Barack Obama, right? Election night. A friend of mine said, come to this election party with me, right? And so I'm in the middle of downtown, business cards popping, just full-time, for 2 days maybe, right? I hadn't even had a day in the office yet. So this is Friday. First day in the office is Monday. I'm all excited. This is about to be me networking, because at the time I was, Deidre Cox with Keller Williams. The Reality Realtor was my first brand, right?
Gotcha.
I'm going to deliver a reality. It was very simple. So anyways, I'm at this event and I fall down the stairs in this woman's house and bust my head open on concrete.
Yikes. 2
days after I'm a full-time real estate agent for the first time. Talk about ego dropped to the floor.
I'm sure.
Right? Including the rest of my body, right?
Sure.
But in that, I won't finish that story, but I'll tell you that I was okay and that no one will look at me and know that that happened to me. And I wasn't harmed, but it didn't look good for a couple of weeks.
Sure.
So once I got back to work, 2 weeks later, when my face, changed and went back to normal, I was depressed, because I didn't get to jump out the gate. I had a roadblock. I had a setback. And it depressed me, and I didn't know which way I was going to go. So I just started calling the people that I know and saying, hey, this is what I do. And there was a lady that moved into my apartment complex prior to me quitting that job. And she was a realtor as well, but she was working for an asset management company at the time. And I happened to take her phone number with me when I left. And I called her just to tell her about my setback. And she says, well, I will let you be my buyer's agent. I need to go and buy these few properties. I sold 3 properties in my second month to that woman because she knew where I was. She was an agent. She wasn't playing agent role. She was representing this other company. So she taught me real estate. My buyer taught me how to sell homes.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
It was crazy. So when we got the contract, I'm like, now what do I do with it? And so she walked me through the first contract. And every realtor has a funny story like that. And I'm sure everybody with any type of business, has a story about it. I say just don't stop. The thing that you can do to get that first client is not stop until you get your first client. And don't let any setback, a swollen face, not knowing what to do, no, oh my God, how many times does no try to cripple us and make us feel like, our product or our service or even us we don't deserve, to get to that first step and to that next step. So don't stop. No matter what you see or what you do, no matter what you're selling, if you believe in your product and you believe in yourself, then you're going to get that first customer. And if you don't believe in your product, you don't believe in yourself, then that's where you got to start first.
Do something else.
Do something else, or start believing in yourself and start believing in your product.
We'll go with believing in yourself and believing in your product.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to take a break here, but we're going to come back. We're going to talk and get some marketing strategies from Dee.
Yes.
Her 7-figure marketing strategies. So we got to pay some bills. We'll be right back.
Yay.
And you do want to hear these strategies.
Yes. Thank you.
Summer 2016 is feeling pretty hot these days. Let Extreme 103 cool you down.
So cool.
With some fresh new music.
Hi, this is Rihanna.
Playing the dopest, freshest, and newest joints.
Yeah, this is Fat Joe.
Yeah, this is your girl, Remy Martin.
Fresh Montana.
Extreme 103. XR103.com.
Hey, this is Derek with 7-Figure Year Marketing, and I'd like to introduce to you a program, AEYL. That's Alliance for Elite Youth Leadership, led by Mr. Derek Robinson. He's mentoring young people to become even better young people. They offer tutoring in all subjects in school. He has basketball coaching program and a summer youth program helping your youth get jobs for the summer. Please reach out to him if you have young children between the ages of 12 to 18. You can reach them at 214-390-5665. Once more, 214-390-5665. They'd love to hear from you because they're ready to make your young people even better young people. Once more, AEYL. Reach out to Derek Robinson at 214-390-5665.
Want to host your own show?
Oh, yeah.
Call now, 972-765-7834. 972-765-7834.
Hey, this is Armors Moncure along with
Kyle Style.
Hey, we're launching the inaugural radio show Speak and Grow Your Brand Radio. It's going down right here in Dallas, Texas. Announced all over the world through the internet. What's the purpose of Speak and Grow Your Brand? It is exactly that. To help you take you from whatever level you're at right now to the next level.
Oh my God, I feel myself growing right now.
Do you feel it? Speak and Grow Your Brand. Listen, what we're going to do is we're going to take your business, your company, or just you and show you how to take it to the next level utilizing this mouthpiece that you were born with called speaking.
Oh my God, I've gotten too big for my seat.
We're going to bring content. We're going to have in-house interviews. We're going to have dial-in interviews both within the country and outside of the country. We're going to bring hot content, what I call reality content.
You're going to teach me not to be afraid.
I'm going to show you how not to be afraid.
Yes.
This is Speak and Grow Your Brand happening Saturdays, 3:30 Central Standard Time. Tune in.
Extreme 103.
Radio and the internet.
XR103.com.
Hello, welcome back to 7-Figure Year Marketing. I am your host, Derek Jones, where we are ready to make you our next millionaire. Get your phones ready because in the next session here, we're going to be taking your calls. You can reach us 214-504-3854. Once more, 214-504-3854. Yeah, give Dee a call and press her to the wall and let's see how she can answer you all. So 214-504-3854. Now, what was interesting, when Dee came in, she she was literally closing on a deal or signing off on a deal. I was like,
Yes.
this lady is a beast. She comes into the interview closing deals and handling business. That's what I'm talking about.
I try to do what I can for the people. Got to take care of my clients,
Absolutely,
Only way.
absolutely. No, so what is your favorite or most effective marketing strategies that you use and implement?
Word of mouth.
Word of mouth.
Word of old school.
Okay.
You know, there's so many things. You know, I like social media. I like, you know, websites and all of that. But I have organically grown my business by referral. I do market myself, but 90% of my business is referrals, or me just talking to people about what I do and how I do it. You know, so if I have a few, you know, intro statements that I make when I meet certain people that gets them into conversation, and then that allows me to show them who I am.
All right, so we're out at the Ritz-Carlton,
Right.
at the bar,
Right.
networking event.
Uh-huh.
I'm sitting there. What's some of the opening lines, or what would you say?
Well, because I'm a beautiful woman, most of the time you would talk to me first.
Gotcha.
I'm just saying, you know, like I don't know about.
All right, so
All right,
I've approached you.
Let's do this the right way, you know.
and you know what? You're right. But I was thinking just from a business point of view. All right, so yeah, so I stepped to you. All right, I'm Derek. But, all right, so
How are you, nice young lady? You know, what's your name, right?
sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, depending on, you know, the feeling that I get from the person, you know, I may introduce myself as D. Or D Cox. I actually like to use my whole name because it's very professional to immediately show that I have some professionalism. So when someone introduces themselves to me, they may say, "Hi, I'm Derek," and I'm going to say, "Hi, I'm D Cox." So I'm always branding. I'm always, you know, giving you a reason to say, why she thinks she got to tell me her last name. You know what I mean? Like I said Derek, she said D Cox. Why did she do that?
Okay.
You know, so anything that I can use to get another question out of a person, I'm going to do that. And so then they're going to tell me, well, what are you doing here? And I was like, man, I've sold so many houses a day, I'm tired, I need a drink. You know what I mean? Or whatever it is based on the vibe of that person, you know? So we're both having a drink and you look like you've had one. I mean, we're in Dallas, Texas, it's hot, right? So if you got your coat off and we're both relaxing, I'm going to say, man, it's hot, I need a drink. And I have been out here, you know, slanging houses or whatever I want to say, because I'm myself. Sometimes I am very professional and I am straightforward, and you would never know that I use words like dope and, you know, slanging houses. So it depends on who I'm talking with, but I'm going to make sure that I'm being myself. And that is what gets me in a conversation with people about what I do. And then I present my core values, or I give examples of things that have happened in the business, or I may just meet them on a personal level. And that's going to give me access to share a card. That sharing of the card is going to give me access to other things. If I think that they're not going to use my card, then I just get their phone number or give them my number or share my contact card. So it's always based on the feeling that I'm getting from them. I love word of mouth. It's the best way to work because words are power. You know, it's translatable. You get a text message from someone, you don't know their vibe. You're sitting next to somebody and you're talking to them, you can feel their vibe. Sure. So the best way to get your product out there, your service out there, is to be able to communicate about it.
And plus, you know, I mean, I tell my audience this all the time, but no one can sell your product better than a client, you know, a previous client or current client.
Yes.
You know, so that's the best, as you said, selling angle is for someone else to talk about you and to talk about what you've done and your, you know, your abilities.
That's the second the second level of word of mouth. So when I'm talking to or speaking on selling real estate to other agents or agent hopefuls or people that come and say, oh, I really want to get into that. One of the things that I talk about is word of mouth, but there's two levels. There's your mouth, and then there's everybody else's mouth.
Sure.
You know, and so you don't want to, you want to have your mouthpiece in place, right, and on point, and have levels to it. But you also want to get that undercurrent, which is everyone else's mouth talking about you.
Sure.
And when you do that, 7-figure a year income is coming.
It's coming. Absolutely.
Yes.
So, and also, I touched on this a little bit earlier. You mentioned that you look outside of the real estate industry for marketing strategies and pull them into
Yes.
your industry. So, again, what's important in that, again, if you're staying just within your industry, then you're doing what everyone else is doing in your industry, and you're not differentiating yourself. But you, as a real estate, right? You said you go outside of the real estate industry and then bring in strategies from other. So what are some of the other industries that you explore, and what are some of the techniques that
I
you
employ?
brought in?
Well, so let's see if I can give you one of my favorite cheats, right? Boom, radio and media. Oh my goodness. Like having a radio show, and I'm a realtor, right? Because I had a radio show when I first started my business called The Real Estate Reality. When I quit my job, I wanted everybody to know, hey, D. Cox quit her jobs, and I'm selling real estate, and I know stuff, because when you're the first agent on the block, when you're a new agent on the block, you have no sales,
Sure.
So you have to communicate that you know stuff. And so I started a radio show, and that was my marketing, one of my marketing pieces to be able to communicate with other people. How many real estate agents have a radio show? Right? So it's not one of those things when you walk into a broker and they say, okay, here's how we want you to market yourself, or here's what we recommend to market yourself. Never on that list is have a radio show, right?
Gotcha.
No broker is going to say you need that, right? But for me, because I'm a communicator and I'm a speaker and I like to influence and I wanted people to know I know what I'm talking about, borrowing the idea of having a radio show and tailoring it to my own personality and to my industry really got me going in the beginning of my business. And it gave me credibility because I could send people to my show, or I could meet someone and say, hey, here's my card, I sell real estate, and I have this show where I talk about the process of home buying. Boom, 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 boom. What time, D? And I take questions. And I have other people on the show that's talking about real estate. So it's definitely something that you don't see every day in our industry, but it was needed. The other thing is how I brand myself in regards to my real estate business. You go to my website, it does not look like a real estate website. It's going to look like some real artistry. You got to take your brand and you have to market it to the highest version of customer. Because all the other customers that are below that highest version are going to look up to that brand and want to be involved. And you're going to take their business too. It only costs $50 for them or for them. You know what I mean? If your product's $50, whether you're marketing it to, a millionaire market or you're marketing it to, a blue collar market or a, middle class market, everyone's going to want it, especially if it's $50 for everybody. So when I market myself, although I sell to veterans and I work with first-time home buyers and I work with young professionals that have six-figure incomes, and those are my target markets, I present myself like I sell Highland Park mansions every day. Because if I ever want to sell Highland Park mansions every day, then I have to market to that client. And if not, I don't think any of my clients are going to have a problem with having the realtor that looks like she sells Highland Park every day, helping you buy your $200,000 starter home.
Sure.
Right? So, present yourself in a way that no one else in your industry is doing so. And that's by always marketing to the highest level of clientele that you could think of.
I was just with a group today, and I was asking them, what is your target audience? And they said probably like just at the middle income level, but taking what you're saying, they should market to the higher level, and then everyone else, as you said, will fall into place with that, wanting to have the same thing that even the millionaires or whatever. Exactly. Are getting marketed to.
I mean, consider, maybe your market is okay with you having a Weebly website, and your website being mybusiness.weebly.com. Maybe your market's okay with you doing that, right? But if that one person who could take your business to that 7-figure a year income goes to your site, you lost them.
Right.
But if that person doesn't know that you're, selling to the Weebly client every day, and they see your site and it looks like you're selling to them, then they're going to give you a shot because of your brand identity.
And you can even scare some people off.
Yes.
That on the higher level, if your language and your marketing and your branding is at that lower level.
Exactly. If you're on the show and you want to have a 7-figure income, ask yourself, do I talk like? Do I look like? Because I currently don't look like. Oh my God, I had an eye issue this morning. I do not look like 7 figures right now. However,
I've been telling her to relax the whole show.
He's been like, "Oh, just relax." No, I have half a face of makeup on. Come on, I didn't know there was going to be a camera. But no. So, do you talk like? Do you look like? Does your image? How do you show up online? What areas can you grow to where your business looks like what you want to be?
Sure.
You have to be able to visualize your life and visualize your product and visualize, your income and your bank account. When I was struggling, I've been homeless twice in the last 4 years selling real estate. Twice. Trying to figure out how to be an entrepreneur. Although I started off branding myself and, having all those ideas, it was still a struggle, and I had to prove that I was not going to give up. Right? So, consider a year ago, I turned 30 in July, and I brought in my 30th birthday in a hotel. I did have on a really cute skirt, but I was in a hotel. And so,
homeless with a cute skirt.
In the hotel, 30. And then...
Well, you know what? Give me 1 second.
Sure.
We have to take a little break here, but look, I want to hear about how you went from homeless to success.
Yes.
That's what we want to know.
I am not homeless anymore. I got a black Audi outside. Got these. It looks like a Panda. I got black wheels on. It's nice.
We will be right back with Miss D with some heavy homeless to success story.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Like our fan page on Facebook. Search Extreme 103 Radio HD.
Are you ready to be your own boss and work for yourself? Have flexible hours with excellent income? And how about job security with unlimited growth potential? Then Michael's Barber and Hairstylist Academy is the perfect choice for you. We offer a dynamic curriculum with a flexible learning schedule, including both day and evening classes, allowing you the opportunity to learn around your busy schedule. We are offering a tuition special for a limited time, so make sure you give us a call at 972-594-7700. Again, that's 972-594-7700 for more information. That's Michael's Barber and Hairstylist Academy. Now is the time to take control of your career.
I wish I was in school. I wish I was in school. I wish I was in school.
Summer isn't fun when you're hungry.
Give me a math quiz. I'll stay after class. I'll clean the chalkboard. I wish I was in school. I wish I was in school.
If your child relies on free school lunches, we can help provide them with free meals this summer. Visit feedingamerica.org/summer meals to find your local food bank for help. Together, we're feeding America. A message from Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Hey, this is Derek with 7-Figure Year Marketing, and I'd like to introduce to you a program, AEYL. That's Alliance for Elite Youth Leadership, led by Mr. Derek Robinson. He's mentoring young people to become even better young people. They offer tutoring in all subjects in school. He has basketball coaching program, and a summer youth program helping your youth get jobs for the summer. Please reach out to him if you have young children between the ages of 12 to 18. You can reach them at 214-390-5665. Once more, 214-390-5665. They'd love to hear from you because they're ready to make your young people even better young people. Once more, AEYL. Reach out to Derek Robinson at 214-390-5665.
Hi, this is Dr. Farmer from the Dr. Farmer Show. Today's thought for today is treat others the way you want to be treated. I ask you to incorporate love, joy, and happiness in your life so that you can give those things to others who want to experience these three gifts. Thanks for listening. Check out my show on this station every Sunday, 9 p.m. Central. Or check out my podcast at any time on xr103.com/Dr. Farmer Show.
Non-stop music. xr103.com. Call us right now. 214-504-3854. Lock it in.
Welcome back to 7-Figure Year Marketing. I am your host, Derek Jones, where we are ready to make you our next millionaire. We are here with Miss D. Cox.
Hey.
And we left off in the last segment talking about you being homeless at one point. Now, you guys know Tyler Perry and his story. From what I understand, he was homeless at one point, and then we all know where he's at now.
He ain't homeless no more.
Hardly. Got quite a few homes from what I understand. So
for fun.
Right. So yeah, I mean, how do you go from homeless to being successful? What was that? How did you that transition? How do you go? How do you do that? How do you make that happen?
The real question is, how do you go from homeless to not being homeless back to being homeless to being successful?
That is an interesting journey.
Why did I repeat that? After the first time, and the crazy part is it was both on birthdays. So the first time that I was homeless, it was my 28th birthday. I had been in business for 6 months. And, I had been in business for a year, but I had been full-time in real estate for 6 months. And it was my 28th birthday, and I had to move out of my apartment after being a property manager for 11 years. So, again, ego on the floor, right? And the second time, it was my 30th birthday. And
like right on your birthday?
Right. I mean, both times. Like, my 30th birthday, I was in a hotel. And I'm like, good. What'd I do? But real estate is an expensive business. And real estate is a volatile business. And so the one thing I can say for anybody out there who's listening to me and saying, ooh, I'm going to go do that because if she did, from here to here, I just will skip homelessness and go, have my great income. It's a business that it's volatile, it's expensive, and I was never, ever taught how to be an entrepreneur. No one taught me anything. I have no entrepreneur friends. I had no entrepreneur families. And I had nobody in any of those sectors that were saying, go do it. Everyone was like, you just need to go back and get a job, D. You got these kids. You need to go get a job. And so I really didn't even have the support mentally from the people that were around me because they didn't know what I was trying to do. I feel that God didn't let me quit, and that's the only reason that I did not quit. I kept trying to get jobs to prevent homelessness and to get out of homelessness. And when funds would get low, I would go get a job as a hostess at a really high-end restaurant, A, to be able to put gas in the car to go show houses, and B, to make me feel good to interact with people because I was so upset, about my life and how hard I would work and how things just wouldn't get in line. I would make money and then it would be gone. And I'm like, how did all that money doesn't go away? Like, how am I making 3% of, $250 and 3 days later I have nothing? It was torture, right? But every time I would try to go get a real job, I'd interview, they'd tell me I have the job, and they'd come back and say, oh, we hired 2 people for that job. You know, or it would be something weird where God was like, you are going to learn this. You're going to, you know, quote unquote, suffer through this until you catch on to the places in your life that you're not disciplined.
And you had 2 children at this point when you're homeless.
Exactly, both times. You know, but I have wonderful support when it comes to my kids. So I'm very, very thankful that they didn't experience it how I did. My son's 5, and you know, when I was in the hotel, he would tell his dad, "You taking me to see my mama?" And you know, and even now today, when his dad was telling me this morning, when they drive by the hotel that I was staying in for that 2 months, he says, "Daddy, that's mommy's hotel." You know what I mean? Like, my son did not care where I was, and if I can tell you anything, my kids also, my kids and God, they believed in me.
Sure. So
right?
What was the one deal that got you out of the hotel and into a house now or apartment, or, you know, not be floating?
Well, when I turned 30 that next month, I closed $22,000 worth of business. So I got out because real estate is volatile, right? So the entire time that I was going through that, I was working. I got up every day like I had a house, and I worked. The first time I was homeless, I lived in 5 different places. I lived with strangers. It was random. The second time, I was making enough money to at least keep myself in a safe place. First time, not so much. I was everywhere, you know. Second time, I was still making money. So it was just that the ends weren't meeting, although I was making money. You know, like Tyler Perry. I'm sure he had it in between all his mansions and the homelessness, right? There was a time where he was making money, but the ends still weren't meeting.
Gotcha.
Right? So my second stint was homelessness was better than my first, thankfully. Both times I learned about my strength. And I'll tell all of you, you're stronger than you think you are. You know, and you're not far away from your goal. You're exactly where you need to be, and you are exactly who you need to be to get where you want to be. And that's not a message from me. That's a message from God. It's one of the things he told me every time I found myself in nowhere to live. D, you are who you need to be, and you are where you need to be in relation to where you want to go. This is exactly where you need to be. Don't worry about your mistakes. Don't worry about what you don't have. Look at what you do have, and look at who I say you are, and get up and do what you can with what you got. Wow. And if you do what you can with what you got and believe underneath and trust yourself, right? And tell every other thought that crosses your mind that says that you can't do, shut up. I mean, I'm sure people thought I was crazy sometimes driving around Dallas telling myself to shut up. Like, that's not true about me. You know, convincing myself that I was worthy, convincing myself that I was wealthy, you know, convincing myself, going and buying myself one nice, really nice pair of shoes when I would have a closing, and taking myself out to one really, really nice dinner when I would have a closing to remind myself that I'm in a wealthy business. You know, because if you're struggling and you act like you're struggling, you're going to stay struggling.
Wow.
Your mind is a terrible thing to waste.
The mindset, you're right.
Yeah.
So what is your purpose, D. Cox? What's your purpose?
My purpose. I want to help people. I want to help people understand who they are, and who you are is amazing and wonderful. And right now, I get to do that with my real estate clients. You know, I get to tell them how they deserve the home of their dreams. Now, the one you're going to buy today may not be the ones of your dreams. However, it is a way to build you wealth to get you to the home of your dreams, right? And I mean, so I get to do that in my business every day, but ultimately my purpose is to share this traumatic story of how this little girl from New Mexico, you know, my daddy he's a reformed pimp, but he was. And my mother was, you know, shot in the head by my aunt when I was 16, and I was a teenage mom and went to college and didn't finish, moved to Dallas with 2 classes left in 2008. Got my degree in 2012. I hope none of my college friends are listening because y'all don't know that. But I went back and finished those 2 classes 4 years later because that degree was going to be on my wall. I didn't go to school for 5 years not to have it, even though I didn't need it. Right?
Sure.
Just all of the things that I've gone through, raising this beautiful 15-year-old that I'm raising, my daughter. And I didn't live this for the sake of suffering. And so you don't live your life for the sake of making $1 million, by the way, everybody. You don't live your life for the sake of having a product or a service. You live your life for the sake of joy, liberation, and sharing what you have inside of you. So my purpose is to share this. I've been gifted with the ability to speak. I'm going to do that. That is my purpose. I've been gifted with this ability to love unconditionally. I'm going to do that. And that's my purpose. And I'm going to make some money while I'm at it because I like nice things.
Sure. Oh, you are.
Yeah. And here's the thing. Your purpose provides your money. When you are happy and when you are sharing your best self with people, money comes to you. Like I talk to money every day and I tell money, go buy this and go buy that and go do that. Me and money now have a relationship. It's not the paper, it's the energy.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Right,
it's the energy of money. Money is not paper because most of it, because we live in this technological world, you don't see it anyways. It's direct deposited. You don't pull out any cash. You use a little card. And that card is our symbol of money right now. Now we got the little chip. It's just weird. Money is energy. So you talk to it. You tell it what to do. You tell money, go pay my rent.
Tell money to send me to Dubai real quick.
Money, he want to go to Dubai.
Thank you. It's coming.
Derek's going to Dubai, everybody. Money, take care of that.
We'll be right back. We're going to take your calls, 214-504-3854, 214. Say that again. Oh, okay. No, we'll take some now. Actually, okay. We have a question. Somebody emailed. Oh, Lori from Burton, Michigan. That's right outside Flint, Michigan. Well, the water problems and all that. She's saying, how do you sell homes in a rough market like Flint? I'm from there.
You're from Flint? They're having a hard time?
They're having tough times up there.
Well, I take it you're a realtor, so thank you so much for the question. And what you do is you convince yourself that it's not tough. Everything is a mind thing. There are people in Flint that are making good money in that market. You find the people that are buying whatever Flint has to offer, and you sell to them. So the first thing you do is you do not drink the Kool-Aid, right?
Or the water.
Or the water. You don't drink the Kool-Aid that it's rough. Because everything happens in your mind first. And it's like infectious. It's the same thing in Dallas. Everyone said in Dallas, oh, this is the best market ever. And then it became the best market ever. Right? Or they say, oh, everything is multiple offers and you can't buy a house. And then you have these people who can't buy a house. So whatever you're convinced of is what you're going to experience. So my recommendation for you is not one of strategy first. It's of mindset first. And once you put your mind in, everybody else might be having a hard time in Flint, but I'm not, then you're going to start getting ideas on what you can do that are organic and in your market that will make you wealthy in that market. And then people will come to you and ask you, what did you do? Make sure you tell them you thought differently first.
Mindset.
Yeah.
All right, we got time for one more. Henry from Minneapolis. How do I move up to selling mid-level homes to $1 million homes?
We touched on that a little bit earlier about your branding. So the first thing you got to do is you got to look like you sell $1 million homes. The second thing you got to do is you got to put yourself in $1 million homes. So if you're going to open houses that are, $350 and $400 every weekend, then that's the kind of homes that you're going to attract. So the first place and the first way to get into that market is to just visit them. Set yourself up in your free time, the ability to go preview the homes, call the agent, look at them, look at the comps, put yourself in the energy of that. Like everything is literally in your mind first. I wish I had other, more logical ways to say it, but put yourself inside of those homes, learn, what sells $1 million home. A lot of the times neighborhoods that have those kinds of properties, all the neighborhoods are different. All the properties are different. They're custom homes. So you'll have a patio style home here, a Mediterranean home here, a Tudor here, and they're all $1 million. How do you comp that out? What are the agents that sell those every day? How are they pricing them? So start doing your research on what the $1 million agents do every day. And then you start doing the things that they do every day on your level. What can you do that they're doing? they're looking at each other's homes is the first thing. So go out there and put yourself in that market. Make sure you look like that market. Make sure that you're thinking about how you can brand yourself for that market. Again, your $400,000 client isn't going to go away. They just want to tell everybody else, my realtor sells $1 million houses. You know, so they're not going to leave you, but you want to start investigating what $1 million agent does. There's also some training that you can get and become a certified luxury specialist. I know that we have that here in Texas.
Really?
So look at NAR and go there and find out what their qualifications and their costs to become a luxury agent, to become a second home agent, to become, get those letters behind your name that will fuel people into trusting you in selling those kinds of homes. Then find yourself a buyer, because getting $1 million listing is a little harder than getting $1 million buyer. So put yourself in the Ritz, like we were talking about, at the bar, get your pitch together, and find yourself someone who wants to buy in that market, and make sure you know some stuff.
Well, Dee, you have provided a wealth of information, purpose, strategies, marketing strategies, $1 million strategies. We thank you so much. How can my listeners get in touch with you for your services? I know you said you speak, or speaking engagements.
I do.
How can we get in touch with you?
Well, I am everywhere as D in Dallas. So if you go to Snapchat, you can follow me there, D in Dallas. Instagram is D in Dallas. And on Facebook, I am D Cox, parentheses, D in Dallas. And if you'd like to...
you say D, D-E-E.
D-E-E.
Right?
There's 2 E's after that D.
D-E-E.
It's a big D, 2 E's. Please, thank you. And if you'd like to talk about, me coming and talking on one of your panels, or being on your show, or, any type of coaching for other agents out there, or any of that, if you'd like to help, my help buying or selling or investing in real estate here in Dallas, Texas as well.
Is there a website they can go
They
to?
can go, well, you can email me at dee@movedallasrealty.com. dee@movedallasrealty.com. That email works, but I'm rebranding. I'm going up a notch, and my website is down for 30 days. So do not go there. You can check out me online. If you find me on social media, you'll find me everywhere else, right? So look me up there, but if you'd like to inquire deeper, d@movedallasrealty.com.
All right. Well, again, thanks, D Cox, for joining us.
Yes.
It's been a pleasure. It was gold. Thank you. That's all I can say. So thank you.
I'm super floating. I'm going to float my way out of here. I feel so good.
All right, and then float some of that money.
I will. I do donations. Do you have? What am I donating to?
It's all whatever you know.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But
we'll talk about it.
Yeah. Thank you again for joining us. Again, Mondays at 6 o'clock. Join us next week, and I will be launching officially sevenfigureyear.com. You don't want to miss that. I'm giving away a lot of good stuff next week. Yeah. Thanks again. All love. Press the hustle.
Press the
See you
hustle.
next
You're listening to Extreme 103 HD. XR103.com.